Hello, my name is Lisa Guzwell, and I will be your instructor for this course. In today's short video, we are going to be talking about universal design for learning. So to begin, I have prepared a slideshow for you. To talk about universal design for learning, we really need to focus on the 4 A's. Now, it seems like I made a typo here. It says 5 A's, but there really is just 4. And those are atmosphere, aims, activities, and assessment. So when you're considering universal design for learning, you really need to think about the atmosphere, the environment of your course. Is it going to be okay to make mistakes? Is it going to be a punitive course? Is it going to be fun? Is it going to be fast-paced, slow? Is it going to make sure that it's going to meet all of the students' needs and reassure them and build their confidence? The next part is aims. So what are the goals of this course? What should we be accomplishing during our time together? Activities should be for universal design for learning, build up all the way to your big activity. So it could be chunking different parts of that big activity throughout the time that you have with your students. And then the final piece is the assessment. So making sure that that assessment is low key, it's frequent, it's formative, and it's really just there to build your students up rather than bring them down. You want to build student confidence. Oh, there's like a pink box on my screen. It says attitude, and there's a unicorn. Well, you know what? Actually, there is probably 5 A's. So attitude. So attitude is making sure that you have a growth mindset for universal design for learning, not only as a student, but as a teacher. Maybe figuring out why there's a unicorn appearing on your screen. So let's talk about what it is. So you guys know what the 4 big parts of universal design for learning are. What's oodle rhymes with noodle? That seems odd, but universal design for learning is meant for all students, so that you can help meet their needs no matter what disabilities they might have or what experiences they're bringing to the course. It's making sure that you have designed your course in such a way that anyone can do your course and be a success at it. So why should we use UDL? Isn't it good to exclude some students and try to help some students realize that this isn't the career for them? Why should we oodle? Okay, there's something wrong with my slideshows. I don't know what, something's up. So we should oodle, to take the headline phrase, because we want students to succeed. If they are passionate about the subject material, we should try to help them meet their goals as well as our course goals. But also, if we are using universal design for learning, that means that our students are performing better on their assignments, which means that our grading time goes way down, because the student work will be higher quality. We also want to give students opportunities to engage with the material and to have time to pause and reflect on their learning so that they are understanding, okay, this was a worthwhile piece of my time that I spent. So how do I oodle? So how do I oodle? So 3 big ways that we oodle are through backwards design, which means that you start your course with the end in mind. So what are you building your students to, and how do you make sure that you're building your staircase to that big goal at the end of the semester? Providing meaningful feedback along the way. So that means interacting with your students at least 6 to 7 times a week if it's a 4-week course, or 4 times a week if it is a 16-week course. And then also having controlled release. So not allowing your students just go through, complete the course without any feedback at all, but making sure that there are milestones that they have to meet before they can move on to the next set of material. There's a meme here. Incorporating universal design for learning into the classroom benefits all students. And there's this yes kid. He's funny. Students need multiple means of expression, engagement, and representation. That really fits Oodle, doesn't it? So the number one feature of UDL is interaction from the instructor to the students and also amongst the students. Oh, there's a star here with a suggested link alert. So let's see what it is. Let's make sure I have my sound on. I didn't put this in here, so.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, well, that's just a bunch of blahing.
Blah, 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 blah.
So, yeah, I guess, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's interaction. Hopefully it's more meaningful than blah, blah. And you should definitely aim for it to be more meaningful than that. And then the number two feature of UDL is non-evaluative feedback. So that means you're not assigning a grade to everything. There's some things where your students just get to meet it, and then you let them know if they have officially met it or not. Our book refers to it as like a tennis net. So the tennis net serves as a way of providing feedback to students on if they successfully made it over the net or if they didn't. So in UDL class, an Oodle class looks like classwork that builds on each other with embedded reflection. So students should be pausing and reflecting throughout the whole course. It should hold students accountable, and that could be through short paragraph responses or even multiple choice quizzes, making sure the lecture videos are short so that students aren't having to spend a long time looking at their screen, but they're just getting the information that they need. Making sure that your tools are accessible in multiple formats, and not just having unnecessary technology, especially if it's an online course, making sure that that technology is going to fit the needs of your course objectives, and isn't just frivolous or going to cost your students extra money, because that could be a real barrier to their education. So hopefully I provided you with good information about what UDL is, but just to make sure that for my purposes that you did fully understand it, I'm going to ask you to fill out the form at the end of this slideshow, and there's also a place for you guys to ask questions. So let's look at the form that you guys will fill out. So you'll put in your name, you'll tell me about what you learned about UDL, and then let me know if you have any questions or concerns about what I shared. And then the last thing is, how would you like me to answer your question? And there's various means, so just choose the one that's going to work best for you. Well, I look forward to using universal design for learning with all of you, and for you all to do your best in incorporating UDL in your online courses. Thank you so much.